This podcast is sponsored by Untapped. Untapped is about working with organisations to develop a sustainable neurodiverse employment ecosystem. How fantastic is that? This includes the Neurodiversity Hub to assist students become more work ready and increase their chances of securing a job. Neil Alexander-Passe is the head of Additional Education Needs and Special Education Needs Coordinator at the East Barnet School in the UK. He has published 10 books and 10 peer-reviewed papers on dyslexia and mental health, including The Successful Dyslexic. I am a big fan of Neil's work, following him on LinkedIn and learning all about his research, and I'm so pleased to have him on the show today. Thank you so much, Neil, for coming on the show. My morning, your evening in the UK.
Yes.
Could you please tell me a little bit about yourself and what life was like for you growing up?
Growing up in the 1970s and early 80s, dyslexia was fairly new, so it wasn't that well known. It's seen as a excuse for middle class parents for their children just not doing well in school. So I grew up within that mindset of parents, but I was lucky to find art. I was fairly good at art, and so that led me to my first career as a graphic designer. So my own salvation was finding something I was good at, and that was art and design. So I left school with very few O levels or GCSEs as they are known now. And I went to art college. So using my strengths rather than my difficulties.
And so were your parents very supportive of you growing up and focusing more on the arts?
My parents were very supportive. I was sent to various tutors who were in fact just repeating all the failed teaching from my schooling, so that didn't go well, and my school career wasn't very easy. I changed schools many times. I was even sent by a bus for I think 30 minutes a day, a journey in my late primary school to a special school where they tried to support my needs. But yes, with the art, they were, I think, relieved that I had found something I was good at. And that was a second relief when it moved to a career as a graphic designer.
You're a very well-known researcher in the field of dyslexia. How did you transfer your skills across from graphic design into research? Because that's such a hard area to work in.
Okay, around the time I was 30, I suppose I was getting married, and I was concerned my own children could be dyslexic. So I began to do research really for them, so that I was better prepared, as I was sure that they would be severely dyslexic, similar to me, and would obviously have a very difficult schooling. I've got 4 children, and none of them are dyslexic. So in some ways, my wife is very pleased because they are fairly good at school and obviously have done well there. But for me, just not having dyslexia, it isn't a link. It's the opposite of a link. But that they some times don't get me. I find them swanning through school and obviously homework very weird. So I began to get into research for them. However, none of them are dyslexic. I've got 2 sets sets of twins, so it's a bit busy life, but none of them are, and so I began to publish the research, and all my books are a reflection of my own life. So the first book is on dyslexia and depression, is because growing up in primary school, I was quite depressed as a young child, and then the second one looked at dating, marriage, and also relationships. So that is, I went through. The next one was on creativity. I'm a creative person working in graphic design, or did, so that reflected me. And the last ones have been on success, as that is something also reflective within me.
So you've gone through the whole journey, which is really fascinating,
yes.
But also fascinating that none of your children have dyslexia, and you've dedicated
yes.
your life in this space.
Yes.
But in saying that, if they have children, they could possibly be dyslexic, and then all your research will be put to good use within your family.
True, yes. I mean, I am looking at why there are no dyslexic children, and I'm looking at the different causes. One of them being genetic, another one is illness within the first 5 years, and so for me having glue ear was the reason for my dyslexia. So I believe that my form of dyslexia isn't genetic. There is research I need to do to support that theory.
So you think your dyslexia was acquired rather than being
Yes.
born with it. So are there any people in your family that have dyslexia?
My cousin, my first cousin shows some traits of it, but apart from that, none.
Because in my family, it's very strongly genetic. We think it's from my dad, but my brother
Right.
has it, and my nephew has it as well. So there's a lot of us.
Yeah. Right.
So what
right.
is your...
and all of you get one another, and that is amazing. Something within my research, talking to many dyslexics, one of them said that at uni they're in a house full of dyslexic peers or friends, and they've got their own secret language. Sometimes they don't need to say certain things, because all of them get it.
Yeah, well, we didn't know. I found out when I was 27. So I think we've just started to, in the last few years since I've had my journey of dyslexia and starting to do my research, that my dad and brother and I have formed a separate kind of bond around being dyslexic, and we do have our own dyslexic jokes.
Yeah, just one family who I know where the father is severely dyslexic, featured within my book, with 4 severely dyslexic children. His wife, strange enough, that he married his wife, as he thought that marrying a non-dyslexic would somehow prevent him getting dyslexic children. Well, that didn't work, but she feels more like a muggle, using the Harry Potter language, because she feels the total outsider to the family. It's quite weird, really.
So is that in your family? Do you feel a bit like the outsider?
Sometimes, yes. Sometimes, yes. It's because they are all very bright kids. They're doing science, and who knows where that science skills come from. It isn't from me, and it isn't from my wife. So yes, they are all very science based.
Interesting. Another paper for you to write. Have you found?
Oh, yes.
Did you find the research journey hard? I've found it very frustrating at times and quite challenging.
I think there is a certain language. You need to write in their way. So uni, they want you to reference your work and to write in a very strange language, and they are not that forgiving to those who are dyslexic. And the idea that they want you to write down all your process journeys, where a dyslexic will go from A to Z really fast without notion of why, where a dyslexic needs that journey to go from A to B, from C to D, and so on. So we are able to get there really fast without the need to write down all those separate journeys. And that is something that many supervisors find really hard to get.
Yes, I found that, and I'm just about to submit publication today of my first paper, which you're highly referenced in, I must say.
Oh, lovely.
So it's very exciting to talk to you, especially on a day when I'm about to submit my first ever paper. But it has been a real process because I'm not a process person.
Yes. Yes, they want. I mean, even writing for a journal, there is a very set way that is alien to us, really.
Yes, it is very alien. That's a good way of describing it. But your papers have been fascinating to read, and some of them, especially the ones around relationships and dating, I've sent to my brother to help him, but also to my mum, and one of my other brothers is engaged to a dyslexic as well. So there's quite a few of us in the family. So I sent your papers to them because it really helped me to understand a bit more about myself and the way I communicate to my partner.
Okay.
And, different, especially for us to better understand my dad as well, and the way that how we grew up and the way that he related to us growing up, and then how he is in general. So I found your papers extremely useful as a fellow dyslexic. Have you had a lot of feedback around those papers and how they've helped people?
So I get people sending me emails every month or so, asking me for relationship advice, and my wife perceives that I'm the dyslexic love guru. It's quite funny, really. Yes, very good feedback to those papers, and the main reason for them is that most people will see dyslexia and obviously affecting learning, and with schools, so they don't get that leaving school they are not cured of it. So the idea that they're struggling within relationships through their shorter term memory, or their, and obviously, avoidance of tasks, and obviously going out shopping. I mean, I will rely on a list for shopping, because if I relied on my shorter term memory, nothing obviously would be bought. So I rely on lists. My wife is obviously happy with the shopping I buy, rather than just going there and just coming back with the odd thing, because of memory, and also just being aware, or making non-dyslexic partners aware that they are avoiding a lot of things, like avoiding writing down, or thinking their short-term memory is really great, but then in real terms it isn't. So it is rating that, and obviously awareness, rating the awareness that they will forget birthdays, your name sometimes. I rung up my wife's work place once whilst we were dating, in fact engaged, rang up her workplace, and I forgot, and obviously, her name, and they went, "You mean so and so?" And I went, "Oh, great, thanks." So it is that, just that, and obviously awareness that it can affect shopping, just knowing someone's names, prepping you before going out to a social setting. Just sometimes the random thoughts, the random things said, because we will make strange links. So if you talk about a trunk, a loading stuff in the trunk of a car, like luggage, I will see a tree trunk, or a elephant's nose, because I will make strange links. So in the social setting, certain strange links will be made, and it is raising awareness within non-dyslexic partners, that this is quite normal for a dyslexic person.
And that was really fascinating when I read that, because my dad does that very often in social settings. It's like he doesn't quite get the cues and he'll change topic. And so that made a lot of sense as to why he does those random things sometimes. So it was really interesting to read, but also how people react when they're in a argument with their partner, and how they shut down because they can't communicate, or they can't get the words out. And that was really useful information for me to read for a personal level.
I mean, my wife, when she talks to me, she will and obviously overload me. So I would prefer, say I'm told off for things, give it to me in 1 or 2 minutes, because my brain fills up within that. If it goes on for 15 or more minutes, I will get lost within it. So it is similar in the classroom setting. You chunk, you give a little bit input, allow that to be dealt with, and then obviously give the second part. And that is the same thing within relationships. Say that you are telling someone to do things, give them it in a chunked away. The first bit's done, okay, second bit done, third bit.
That's a very good advice. Thank you. And we will circulate your papers, have them up on our website as well, so people can read them, because my networks have found them very, very useful. I could spend all day talking to you about relationships, but I don't want to bore our listeners talking about my relationship issues. So I have spoken to you on LinkedIn, which you may not remember, and we were talking about the social model of health versus the medical model, and how at the moment there's a move from the medical model to the social model for people that have disabilities, and whether people see dyslexia as a disability. Can you talk to me a little bit about that? Because in Australia, you still need a label to get any help. So we're kind of caught between this medical social model. How do you think we can move forward and not be so caught in between?
Okay, I mean, is that the social model has its pluses. However, it is fairly old. It was developed in 1972, I believe. It is like 40 or 50 years old, but it has brought with some fairly large changes within the workplace and schools. It is allowing people to gain far more access to the workplace through use of software or wheelchair doors wide enough for wheelchairs. So it's changing just these physical side of the world and the workplace and obviously in public buildings. However, I've been for my PhD, and also for a new book I'm writing now, it is at the theory of bi-abilities. So it it is going beyond it, and it is mainly for those with obviously hidden obviously difficulties, or hidden obviously differences. In your neck of the wood, the surname is Valeras, Valeras, and she is talking about the bio abilities. You are either say that you will work with your strengths, you are not perceived to be obviously disabled. So it is to that box. Would you be disabled or not? You are somewhere between it. Some days you are, some days you're not. So there should be this third box, which is by abilities. It talks about passing, so the ability to avoid disclosure for one's obviously difficulties. But it really is. I mean, the move to the social model is a good step for those with visible needs, but it isn't quite suitable for those without those obviously hidden needs.
Is the bi abilities model moving away from the neurodiversity model, or do you still think that people? So is it a mixture of that, or?
Yeah, you see, the neurodiversity is the move towards it, as it is showing that there are strengths. So we aren't one label or another. We are a mix, and those mix can bring obviously strengths to the world. So it really is pushing the concept that there are many of our great divergent thinkers who are able such benefits to the world, like the chap that who brought us IKEA, or Richard Branson, or James Dyson, these Steve Jobs, all these amazing thinkers are not disabled. They are abled, and their strengths should be known. And so the idea is that we will use our strengths and our the abilities to be really positive to what we can bring to the world. And the social model takes us part of the way there for those with visual, physical needs.
So, I mean, your story is amazing because you talked about having depression when you were younger, but then you found your strength, and that seems to then, that was your enabler, finding your strength. So how do we support children to reduce their risks of depression and to try and help them find their strengths at a young age? Because a lot of, as you know, a lot of people in the prison system are dyslexic, and there's this spectrum of abilities to the opportunity to be able to find your strengths young to then help you carry you through.
I mean, so my last published book is on the successful dyslexics, and that is a research project of 20 successful dyslexics compared to 15 less successful dyslexics. So it was looking at common things, school-based trauma, but also looking at their keys for success. And one of the main keys was to find your strengths and to find your abilities very young. So parents should be helping their children find out what they are good at, whether it is drawing or painting or knitting or skateboarding, trading, or washing cars and running a small business. It's finding those keys. I mean, the chap that wrote the foreword to that book is a famous archaeologist who the character in obviously Jurassic Park was based on. And that guy early on used to go out and dig up the fields around where he lived, to find fossils and to find different things there. So early on, find your child's passion, support them, and allow them to be really good at it, so that they are as good or better than their peers and their friends, so that they're able to hold their head high and say, I'm good at something. It isn't all bad. That will help balance out all the negativity from their school day. So the key is, or one key is, to find something they're good at. And the second key I will suggest is have one adult who will really believe in you, whether it's a parent or a grandparent or a friend or neighbor. You find someone who will be your champion, and that is the way that you will stay positive. For me, I was able to find art, and that was my salvation, and that allowed me to find my career, and that is the key I would pass on.
That's a great message, thank you, because I think if we don't start young and support parents, to give them the skills to be able to support their children, then it can become a tricky path for us. To me, I see you as a real advocate for changing the way people see dyslexia, particularly for young people and adults. Yeah. And your wife calls you the dyslexic love guru, which I think is just, I think that's fantastic. So, do you see yourself as an advocate and a love guru, or just an advocate, or neither?
Oh gosh, the love guru, no. I generally refer them to my friend nearby, Penny Ashton, who runs Groups, which is a dyslexic counselling service just by dyslexic therapists, people who are really good at fixing relationships. So to the love guru, no. To the advocate, I would say I am passionate about it, and I really want to push the positive side of things and raising awareness. So yes, that label I am happy to be.
Well, I think you've written enough papers to definitely classify you as an advocate, and books.
Yeah. Well, there were two more coming out this year. So that's good. One of them is looking at surviving school as a teenage dyslexic, and a second one is a joint project with two other authors looking at dyslexia, on entrepreneurship, and also education. So we are trying to push different things, and my new project is looking to find common ground within other difficulties, hidden difficulties, using the by abilities model. There still is more work to be done.
Yeah, I think it's never ending. The amount of work to be done. So will your books be on audio? Will people be able to listen to them? Because that's one of the questions in our community. Fantastic that they've found some dyslexic books that they really want to read and they can't, and they haven't been on audio. So that will be great to let them know.
Right. Okay. I mean, I've written some novels too, and all of them are on Kindles. So they are all audio books, and that's with the name of Alex Niall. One is a thriller called The Dyslexic Virus. The second one is The Deceitful Dyslexic. So there are audio versions for those novels.
Fantastic. We'll have those listed on our website as well. So you've gone from art to being an author. So you've transitioned your creativity in a way. Did you ever think you'd end up writing books? Because that's quite a few you've written.
12 books so far. Well, I went from an artist to someone that works in schools as a teacher and a author, and also with that I work with the UK government on making sure that new tests are now dyslexic friendly. But yes, the idea of a person who went through school hating it, now working within schools every day, is a crazy concept, and I am still shocked by it. However, my job is running a large team, supporting students who are struggling within schools. So I'm the kind of voice within school, and that is good. I think
that is really good. We don't. It would be a fantastic, rewarding job, though. Do you walk through the doors and get a bit of post-traumatic stress building up, or a bit of anxiety?
I should really. However, my own PTSD of school comes from primary school, seeing work being pinned up on walls, from a sickly floor cleaner used when I was young, but now it is strange. It is a really positive thing, and now just walking in to schools and just knowing I'm there to make things better. Really
sounds great. I wish I'd had someone like you when I was at school.
Sure. Yeah. Me too.
Yeah. Yes, but we're changing the world one step at a time, which is fantastic.
Sure. Yes.
Is there anything you'd like to see change over the next 5 years, particularly for young people and adults with dyslexia?
I think typing, for me, something I will push to most students who are struggling within school, is the ability to type their work. A laptop has been my own salvation, allowing me to check spelling and to draft and to check grammar, and it comes out in a perfect way. And I want more and more children or young people to type. We are still stuck in school in the Victorian era. Writing doesn't even reflect the workplace they will go to. So really, most kids should type. They should be given a laptop, and that is their main way to do well at school, I think.
Is there anything else you would like to add before we wrap up? You're in Australia, we don't get a lot of access to laptops, but in secondary schools, students do. They all get a laptop.
Right.
But I don't think they're allowed to use it for exams and things like that.
No, we are.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I will test NLT students, and we give the majority of them 25% more time in a laptop, and say that they are severe. We will give them a reader or a NLT scribe, but no, reading pens around, so they could use that, but without giving them a laptop to type, we would be breaking the Discrimination Act.
Yeah.
So we must give that, and that is something parents should be pushing for.
I think if they've got a formal diagnosis of dyslexia and they've had it within 6 months before they go into year 11 or 12, then they get that access. But
wow.
In general, students have access to a laptop, I think, in secondary school anyway. And then I think it varies to the level of accommodations that a student can access as they progress through secondary school.
Okay. I mean, for the UK, there is no need for a diagnosis. I will test them and say that they are slow with their writing speed, or it isn't clear. We will give a lap at top as a fairly normal thing. So maybe the UK is far more advanced for those with learning difficulties.
Yes, definitely. We've still got a long way to go, and we've got some amazing groups advocating to improve access within the school system in Australia. So we're very lucky. Is there anything else you'd like to add before we wrap up? It's been fascinating. I could spend all day talking to you, particularly about all your research.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you so much. And hopefully we can have you on the show again.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
To find out more about Neil and his latest book, Surviving School as a Dyslexic Teenager, a guide for parents and their teenage children, head to deardyslexic.com. If you haven't already done so yet, make sure you sign up to our mailing list so you can keep up to date with everything we do at the Foundation. Head to deardyslexic.com. And don't forget, if there is anything you have heard today that was distressing, please call Beyond Blue on 1300 22 46 36 or Lifeline on 13 11 14. Did you know we now have a new live Q&A series called Question Dys, DYS, created during COVID to help our community feel more connected. Each month I interview a fellow dyslexic about all things dyslexia and life. The Question Dys series is running through Facebook Live. I really hope you can come along and join us for one of these sessions. If there is a topic you would like discussed on the show, please email us, admin@deardyslexic.com. Thanks for joining us. Bye for now.